I missed you.
Yeah?
I missed your face. I haven't seen you in. So I obviously we have today.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I've been on vacation, been out. Uh,
Partying.
I, yes, yeah, yes, partying. I went to a music festival. Drink in hand, loud music in ear at 10 a.m.
2.
2
2 left.
a.m.
2 left. There's a lot of X's on that conversation.
It
But yeah,
was,
you've been gone 4 or 5 days? 5?
no, no. The last time I saw you in person would have been.
I was more or less last time. Like
Oh,
you had been gone.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Oh
Sunday,
my
Monday.
God, you did leave Tuesday, didn't you? Holy wow!
Yeah.
that is tough. That is
Yes.
man, that is forever ago. I didn't think it was that long. I was like, yeah, they've been gone like 4 days.
That's why I was like thinking about shooting the pod last week.
Yeah,
And I was like, if we did, it'd have to be Monday. And there was nothing.
yeah. I was watching Otakus. It was really funny. They're like, I don't know if you watched the new one. They're like, yeah, we don't have much to talk about. 2 hours later, the pod's done,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh yeah, we could definitely do that. I'm like, what? One topic, it's over.
Yeah.
But
Oh man, we don't have anything to talk about anyway.
but
Yeah, I missed you. I'm happy to be back. Happy to see you again. Happy to hang out. I know we haven't really hung out since I got back. Partly because of work, partly because for whatever reason I have an addiction. It's called League of Legends. I don't know if you've heard of it.
that's a tough addiction.
It really is.
I got really upset because I had fun playing TFT yesterday.
I saw you on TFT when I logged on. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, Hardesty recommended it, and I was like, yeah, man, I'll get on. It's whatever. And then
No.
just had a blast. But you know, a week later, I'll be good.
I'm getting back on Overwatch tonight.
That's hard.
I mean, part of it is, other things that happened over the weekend.
Yeah. Do you wanna share, big dog? Or
Yeah. Ladies and gents, I'm a taken man now. Not that I
Yeah.
wasn't before, but 6 years of just like your regular relationship, and now I've got a little ring on my hand. But yeah, we're going to play Overwatch tonight. The reason being is that's how Alex and I met. Like, you know this, our friends know this, but Alex and I met just randomly in voice chat in open queue.
Let's say a tough first meeting, by the way.
A very tough first meeting.
I'm not telling it. If
Uh,
Alex wants to rip it in the comments, let him loose. I'm not. Nope, not me. I'm not.
I'll share a short story from the proposal.
I'm gonna say I haven't been told the details. Also, first of all, I said this to you in the car, but I'm bringing this up in the pod.
Yeah.
Me and Alex now have beef. I don't even know if he knows. So Alex, like we have our if you've ever been on Snapchat, the greatest marketing scheme of all time of having streaks with people. How do you guarantee people log in every day? You start this thing that people randomly want to keep a hold of. Ours is 300 some.
I don't
So
hang
I
out
have
with two people
logged
anymore.
in.
I still have it.
I have logged in for 300 some straight days just to make sure I sent you a snap. Because it pops up, and now you know what they do now? They have a little fire button.
Yeah.
And it tells you what number you're on. Just made it even better. So I snap them. Alex and I have started one after dropping it multiple times. But it was like, there was reasons for it. Like, you guys went on vacation. I don't like to message people when they're away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you moved, I would message you, of course.
That's
but like,
fair.
when you're out there, last thing I want to be is like, hey, your card showed up. No, just let them do their thing. Let them enjoy their environment. Because things like proposing happens. Last thing you need me dinging is going, the house is on fire.
I don't care.
Like, you don't care. But so Alex just like unprompted, just hand on knee or hand up, sent a picture, and neither of you wear rings. And there was just this. It looks like metal. It's kind of like it really does. But you said it's silicone.
Yeah, it's all rubber. It's silicone.
Yeah. So Alex sends one, and I was like, "Oh, y'all married now?" You know, just like making a joke.
Yeah.
Anybody that has been. You don't even have to be engaged. If you're together around the homies, you two have been together the entire time I've known you.
We're married.
You're married.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, y'all married? Alex goes, no. And I was like, okay, they got some funky ring thing. Like Alex got some thing there, and I was like, haha, that's funny. You're engaged, and I was just like messing around, and he goes, yeah, and I was like, it means the same thing. Like, I was so mad. I'm still heated, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
I asked if you guys were married because I thought it was a funny way to ask, and he goes, no. I was
No.
like, you didn't go to Vegas, okay? I understand you didn't elope, like,
Yeah. And
but
so I've had the plan in my head since like February.
oh yeah, I've seen you leaking details,
Yeah, I've definitely been like letting some of them like loose out into the
Yeah.
wild, and uh
which is the funniest thing because how you tell your story.
yeah.
Go.
The idea was I wanted to do it at a concert. Alex and I's first ever in-person date, because we did long distance for the entire beginning of the relationship. Our very first date was a concert. It's where we had our first kiss, all these things. I thought it'd be really cool and nostalgic, and this really nice bonding moment where our first weekend together, engaged, will be at a concert. Don't worry, I see the light too.
I wasn't going to bring it up, dude. I was just going to let it ride.
So I had a whole plan. I reached out to people that I like. There's a big group that goes to this festival every year that we go to. I reached out. I was like, hey, can you guys help make this happen? I want like a big crowd around us in the crowd at the show. I want to do it at the show. Yeah, I get a ton of support. Awesome. I didn't have any jitters. I wasn't nervous getting in there. The day comes. It's a 4-day festival.
Okay.
It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Maybe
Sunday.
that's where the 4 days kept coming up for me, by the way. 'Cause
Probably.
you told me it was 4 days.
Yeah, it's 4 days of that, and then like 3 other days. So there's 4 total days of the music festival, and yeah, I didn't want to do it on the first day because there weren't any bands that I wanted to do it during, but there was a band early in the day on Friday that I wanted to go and do it during. So I was like, perfect, that's when it'll be.
What band?
It's a band called Fame on Fire. They're like, because if you do it too late in the day, people don't want to help you because
Yeah, 'cause they can't help themselves.
Yes. So if you do it early in the morning, it won't be as popular of a band, but you can still pick bands that you like.
Right.
And my Friday could not have gone any worse. Obviously, it could have. I'm still here.
This is how it always goes.
Out of my hands.
Yeah.
There's plenty of engagement stories where like, oh, it was in your control. You could have done something, but I got stuff stuck in my eyeball. I got like compacted dirt under my eyelid, and somehow it went under my contact because I had to yank my contact out of my eye. I went about 2 hours of not being able to stop my eye from watering before I went, it's coming out. So I take my contact out. It's still watering. I can't keep my eye open. I go to the medical tent.
Right.
They're flushing my eye with with saline and water, and can't get it out. I wear an eye patch the rest of the day.
You did it with an eye patch? There's no way you wore it during, right?
I wore an eye patch, and not even like a real eye patch, like gauze folded up over my eye and then taped onto my face. And I'm just walking around with sunglasses on. I felt like I was like a person without an eye because I just wore sunglasses even when it was too dark to wear sunglasses because people would look at me like, what is wrong with that guy?
Yeah. Just confused.
So that's how that went, right?
Okay.
I now have only one contact in my right eye. I now have a headache because of the whole depth perception issue.
Oh, and just like your eye in pain.
Mhm.
What was it in pain or just like watering?
It was only in pain if I tried to blink.
Okay.
But once the compression was on my eye, I no longer had that urge. So after a couple hours, it finally settled down. What's up?
So was it just like cut? You think?
No, it was sediment. So I scheduled an optometrist appointment the next morning.
Oh, okay.
And
I keep going.
Yeah. So, so I wear an eye patch the rest of the day, mind you. I also went back to the camp after I went to the medical tent for about 2 hours because I needed to relax and my eye to calm down. And in that time, one of our fellow campers got really fucking high and drunk.
The dynamic duo.
And also got like heat issues because it was really hot that day and she couldn't control her own like body temperature. So now she's like throwing up, can't control herself, too high and drunk to function. Did not mean to get that high or drunk. And guess who takes care of her? Alex.
Yeah, of course.
So the whole day.
And just nothing you can do about that one either.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to be like, Alex, we have something super important to do today.
Yeah. And the person you're taking care of, I definitely wanted to be there, but too late now.
Yeah.
Next morning, wake up, can't find the rings. Can't find them.
Just gone?
Just gone. I literally, like black silicone rings like this. Went out, I bought a variety pack so I could get different sizes because, you know, we have different sized fingers.
Right.
They were in the shorts. I went to the same pair of shorts the next morning and tried to find them. Couldn't find them. Went through all my luggage at camp. Couldn't find it. I don't know.
Man, that's tough.
So I didn't get to do it at the festival.
Aha.
We load up Monday morning to drive back. I'm in the truck, driving.
As all this should be.
And I look over at Alex and go, "Want to hear a funny story?"
Honestly, this might even be better. Like,
yeah.
Straight up.
And so I told Alex the whole thing like I just told you. And we get to the donut shop. Or before, let me back up. On our way to the donut shop. And Alex is like, is this how you're doing? Is this how you're going to propose? I was like, maybe not. Want to do it with a donut at the donut shop? Because you know, I love me some donuts.
Honestly, might love it more than Alex. Every morning I get bed and a donut would be great.
It's almost every day.
That is my snap story I get for 306 days is, man, bedtime and a donut would be badass.
Yeah, I just want to go home, lay in bed, watch anime, and eat donuts.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Connor, are you okay?" Like, yeah, I just want donuts. But Alex thought it would be really funny, so we get there. We do it. This is where it gets even better. This is more comical.
Right.
Because
because not enough's happened yet.
Yeah, not enough, obviously. I order a whole dozen. This is my favorite donut bakery in the country, mind you.
Okay.
So it's like, this is the spot. If I'm gonna do it with the donut, it's here.
Yeah.
I even thought of a really corny fucking line to say.
Right.
And like look at the camera because one of the guys that was in a group, he knew about it because he was gonna videotape it.
Yeah, and this whole time, dude, this guy's literally had sweat down his back for literally the next 3 days that you didn't do it. Where the whole time he's just got his phone just like literally ready to draw an arm. Like he's in an old Western, dude.
Yeah.
Just like every time you talk, you're like, "So Alec," you start freaking out.
little twitchy fingers.
I can't miss it.
So he knew. I was like, I'm gonna look at the camera and go, "Don't call me old-fashioned," and then propose with a old-fashioned donut. You can laugh. It's
so
fine.
great.
Don't worry. I picked the donut up out of the box and it fucking crumbled. It fell apart. It just fell into thirds. I picked it up and it fell out. It just folded away.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, I won't say the line anymore. So I just took out a glazed donut, and I'm not a serious person. You know.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I've been very curious how it's been, and I've been waiting for you to kind of like have time to tell me because I'm like,
I couldn't take it seriously. Like I get it's proposing, it's a huge thing. Like I could not take it seriously.
Yeah, I don't know if I could.
Doing
really
it
either.
Felt weird. Actively proposing, I was like in my head going, "This is weird. Why am I doing this?" I didn't even ask, "Will you marry me?" I was like, "Will you be mine forever?" I don't know. Like, what's up?
Yeah, it's just like, hey,
here's a donut. Give me your finger.
Also, when you're done after the video, if you take one fucking bite,
I swear.
I said we're married. What's mine is still fucking mine.
So this, remember, I was supposed to propose Friday, right?
Yeah.
Saturday comes at the festival.
Uh-huh.
I have a contact in both my eyes now. Went to see the optometrist. They got the debris out. It was great.
I was saying, how'd that go? Was that tough?
It was fine. Because I woke up the next morning, it drifted down toward my tear duct, so it wasn't like up here aggravating.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
So I didn't notice it in the morning. They got it out of the doctor's office. Cool. Saturday night, it's me, Alex, and the two people the one person who got all sick the day before, who I wanted to be there, right? And her boyfriend, who was the camera guy. Okay, so it's the four of us hanging out for the last couple shows together because like the very last act that night, the last song, lead singer steps back and goes, "I'd like to welcome out a special guest. He won a competition recently. Everyone, please welcome Connor." A guy named Connor walks out on stage, and then proposes to his girlfriend on stage. I look at my cameraman Rob and go, "What?" I just mouth the word "what," and he looks at me and goes. He just he squints his eyes, shakes his head like there's no way.
Yeah, because that's just not real.
Yeah, like
that. So what you're saying, right? let's just be hypothetical. Whoever is upstairs watching.
Yeah.
Let's just be as broad as we can here. He said, "You, Connor, because you're Connor, cannot this weekend because this is Connor's weekend." And you're like, "I'm Connor," and you're like. Not this weekend. That's Connor. It's every time you try, it's like you're blind, and then you're like, "All right, later. You want to do it? No, it broke. You want to go watch it? Nope. Just just getting slapped around."
Yeah.
But
and Friday was supposed to be like the day.
Oh yeah,
because I start my day off. I get to the venue. I see one band. The last couple songs. Lead singer puts a mask on, wears it for a song. Takes the mask off, throws it into the crowd. I'm tall.
Yeah.
I reach up, snatch it out of the air, take my sunglasses and hat off, hand it to Alex, put the mask on, and start rocking out. And it's a giant middle finger. Literally, the mask is a fist.
Yeah.
With a middle finger coming out of the top of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course it is.
And so the cameraman flips around from the stage and is looking at me now, and I'm on all four gigantic screens just rocking out. And like the Chad I am, I point at the camera because I noticed that he's on me.
Right.
I point at the camera. The cameraman throws up the horns, and I throw up the horns back and start headbanging with a middle finger flopping around on my head.
Like what a weekend, dude.
It was great.
What a weekend.
It was awesome.
Well, I won't forget today. But this is the Alt Tab podcast.
True.
It's just been a Connor podcast right now. I'm in. I'm getting in. This is gonna be a lot of you.
It's a lot of me.
Yeah, because you got a lot to talk about.
I don't have anything to talk about.
That
got a lot to talk about.
That's like 30 plus minutes right there.
Well,
for anybody who didn't look, he just turned around, looked at the timer, and said, "Okay, maybe you're right."
I turned around, looked at the timer, and I was like, "Well."
Yeah,
that might be 20 minutes.
But again, this is the Alt Tab podcast. I am Bricker, my co-host, as you probably have heard of his name. He got married on stage. Oh wait, wrong Connor.
Yeah, wrong Connor.
But yeah, so you had a good time.
Yeah,
I've had it probably average time. I'm just vibing.
You didn't get to play Commander with me this weekend.
I didn't play. To put it bluntly, kick the living shit out of people playing Lorcana. Not fair. One of the matches, not fair. I don't have any starter decks because if you know how Lorcana is, the sickest part about the game so far, here we go into our card games shield, by the way. Yeah. But the sickest part about Lorcana so far is it's brought back a trope, or not, maybe not a trope. I don't know a tradition. Let's call it a tradition. I never in Magic or any other card game got to really experience the wheel and dealing part where you like trade actual cards with people. Yeah. Never really got to do that. Now, like if a Magic set comes out, I'm either like I want to buy the card because I can get it. There's access to that card. It's not absurd for the most part if I get it reasonably early enough or whatever. Or nobody's like, "Oh, I'll trade you Solitude for Ragavan" to make a very quick like analysis, and it's like, no, I already own Solitudes. Like I already have them. Or whatever. So you never get that. And Lorcana, people just don't have cards. So when it's like, I'll trade you a Bell for a Tinkerbell, and you're like, okay. So you're actually like constantly kind of doing it. I had to pick like a path of what I was going to play because those are the cards I have access to, and the other ones I won't because I have to trade cards to get the cards I need for my colors, and I'm just like, so like I got to trade with Jackson, a person I haven't talked to in a long time. We used to work at Apex. Nothing bad. He just left to go be a nurse. Good, a male nurse. Yeah, great on him. But he comes out. He loves the game. It's like simple enough that he can like leave it, come back, play it. There's some intricacies that you can kind of benefit from knowing there is like some deeper level of play to some extent. Obviously, that comes with more like set releases, but I got to trade, and I never got to do that before. And I'm like, oh, it's sick. Like I don't have to spend money every time I want a card. Like people will actually have to trade and do stuff, and like I found myself on like not like immediately, but being like, yeah, I'll trade you these. They're the same value. Like I trade a lot of cards, and like I got an Enchanted Bell, which is a borderless like limited edition kind of print, and I got it. It was $190. Traded cards for it. I didn't need it. It's $280 now. So at the time of equal trade exchange, I am now up on that card, and I'm just like, sick. I traded cards I didn't need and different colors I wasn't playing, and got off them. But it's been sick. Are you good? Did that stuff come back in your eye?
I just don't. It'd be like you were living in an accelerated time frame.
Mhm.
It's like you opened revised packs
Yeah.
and then went, I don't need my Savannah Lions. Can I trade you for your Badlands?
Yeah.
And they went, sure.
They're the same value.
Trade. You've got the best mono white threat in the format. I'll trade you. Here's my bad multicolored lands. Go.
Yeah, my dual land.
Because black red didn't see any play, and it's like, all right, yeah, cool. And then you just somehow skip 20 years and go, oh, crazy. My $20 card is now $300.
Yeah, because it's cooler to be a nerd now. I mean,
That's definitely part of it. It's definitely part of the issue.
Yeah, because, well, the other thing is, it's Disney. Like, you're getting so many.
Evergreen.
You get so many people in that are never going to play the card game outside of like family board game night. And like, do they care? No, they just got a couple of what we would call pre-con, or like it's a pre-constructed deck. Is what a pre-con is, and they just shuffle them up and play.
Like the game nights the game night boxes that Magic does.
Yeah, that's all they're gonna do.
Yep.
Doesn't really matter. Now, sometimes will they go out and maybe acquire a couple of things? Maybe.
Possible, doubtful.
But just doubtful. Maybe they get a box and upgrade their stuff. But then they're like also playing at home, so they're playing with like 3 or 4 different colors. They don't care about the rules.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm playing the best cards or the ones I find cool.
Ah.
Yeah, it's so sick. But yeah, just out here grinding. We have a 2K for it this weekend.
Which is that Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're predicting like max 60.
Man, it's still a lot.
It's still a lot, but like we've had more than that.
Am I gonna have people come up and play Commander? Probably not.
I don't know. You might.
Well, if they come up and play Commander, like they don't get to play Commander, or they do and I don't. But if I get to play Commander,
You want to tell us about your new deck? Old Xanathar.
Yeah, a little Prime Speaker Vanifar action.
Yeah.
It's a food chain combo. It's a budget list.
It's a food chain without the food chain.
No, sorry, not food chain. It's a pod combo.
Yeah, I was like, food chain without the food chain.
Yeah, I took pod out.
I literally, yeah, you said food chain. My brain was like, yeah, it's birthing pod combo, but I also said food chain.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, that's right. That's birthing pod.
I had pod in here, and then I actually took it out because I wanted to play Archetype of Imagination, which is a really weird thing to say.
I couldn't even tell you what that card does.
It's a 6 mana 4/6.
Oh yeah, definitely better than a birthing pod for sure.
Oh, I can't tutor for pod, so.
But pod can tutor for everything.
It can't.
No.
Pod doesn't win me the game. Which is, I didn't even think about that ahead of time. Pod does not win me the game.
Yeah, it doesn't actually.
because almost all of them are untapped creature.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, pod can't even save you. And again, this is a $100 budget deck, so
Yeah.
before we start throwing in like, oh, you play these cards, it's like, well,
No,
no, it can't.
they can't.
No, it can't.
Yeah. My tutors, nope, non-existent.
Yeah,
I have 2 creatures that ETB, and that's a lie. I have 3 creatures that can tutor and go get me stuff
yeah,
that are not lands.
right.
But that's not the point. Deck's cool. It's a puzzle. I've playtested a bunch. It's been a really fun puzzle. This also goes back to our budget builds, though.
Yeah,
I'm having so much fun. Prime Speaker Vanfar is 2 cards away from being fully built. They just need to come in the mail. And then,
but don't worry, you got extra copies of all your other cards.
yeah, why that? I got 2 dispels, 2 Daybreak Seekers, or Seeker of Daybreak.
It's not even Daybreak Coronet, you know.
Yeah, like not even like a cool card.
Yeah, it's
But-
tough. It's tough.
But like if I win the game, like if I combo off, it's like
right. I played that. I don't even know what you would call it. It's a teamer pile of cards I want to play.
yeah,
That's exactly what it is. Nothing more, nothing less.
extra turns.
Yeah, I put a Nexus on the stack, right? And they go, okay, what are you gonna do with Nexus? And I was like, I'm gonna cast it, but I have my commander in play, so I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna grab my merchant scroll back and get it again, do this stuff, then take my extra turn, merchant scroll, play it, and they're like, okay, and I'm like, I want you guys to know I have 7 turns lined up. You can stay if you want. If not, I'm gonna start goldfishing.
Yeah.
And I start going, and I just see like the 2 other people. They go, we don't have to stay here, right? And I was like, I can also just get up. Like, you guys can keep playing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just get up. Like, the board's pretty neutral right now. I'll just get up. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, outside of me winning, because I don't interact with people when I win with like turns. I try not to. So when I do win, I can just be like, you guys can finish out your cool game. I've just won and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how this list is, because at the end of the combo is I just continue to take extra turns. If you want to sit here and watch me hit you with
yeah.
like 12 damage in the air every turn until you're dead and everyone else is dead, sure,
Yeah, you can do that.
you can do that.
It's up to you. But you don't have to.
You don't have to.
It's like,
And
yeah, a player can concede at any time.
I can also pick these cards up, shuffle, and you guys can finish.
Yeah, that's generally where I end up going. It's like I had like Flusterstorm plus like 2 counterspells in my hand, and I'm like,
Okay.
like I pretty much have it covered. And I'm looking at like Itali aggro, infect, budget though, and then enchantments that is white green, and I'm like, you're never mana tithing me. I have 27 mana in play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
would you like to get up?
we can. Now, if someone somehow flashed in a stranglehold and you win,
That's a Magic the Gathering card.
it's a 4-mana red enchantment that says players cannot take extra turns and players cannot search libraries.
That's fine. That's what we got Grindstone and Painter Servant for.
True.
To mill myself.
And then Oracle.
Yeah. Get the Demonic Consultation out of here.
But that's enough of the card games.
Card games? Yeah. You got something for me?
I'm ready to sit here and be lulled right into the lore that is Fallout and all the leaks that happened.
Fallout. Oh, yeah. So
He says he didn't want to message people while they're on vacation. I got a message when I was on vacation.
listen, that one, I had to message you that one. That was tough, dude. I even have to go back.
Yeah.
That's tough. So okay. So
And
yeah.
we're leaving
so,
the laughs in. Good
yeah.
luck.
So ZeniMax, management forecast, basically. So if you don't know, Bethesda was being acquired by Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
And then a very, I don't know, we can call it a blimp on humanity's like past, like the history, COVID happened. So during that time, things got screeched to a halt, so these dates don't make sense anymore. But it was basically a roadmap of what they wanted to do, and when it leaked not that long ago because it was attached to a file and a legal document that like somebody's taking them to court to try to prevent this whole thing. Like without going super deep because I don't have 18,000 documents here to run through and make a video. But so basically in 2020, it's 2023. So in 2020 we got this Elder Scrolls Online expansion, which was fine. It's followed out Shelter Online, which was actually like in another country, like a whole thing. Project Whirlwind, and then we have Fallout Wastelanders, which what that meant was I've later learned because I forgot what it was called. That's when they added NPCs into Fallout 76.
Okay.
So do you know how that game functioned at all beforehand?
You've told me very roughly, but it was
like shit. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was really poorly done, and there wasn't actual stories with NPCs.
It was so like it was cool in the very beginning because everybody was kind of like at this level, like everybody was new. You're walking around, like every town's like kind of crowded with all these new people kind of running around. And then like if you picked it up a month later, you have level 789 Gary Thomathan III over there in the corner with souped up power armor, and you're like, I just started, man. You know, like this isn't the experience, you know. And then they added NPCs. Game got like way better. But as soon as the storyline ended, you kind of were like, I got nothing to do now. I'm just in an open world with like nothing to do. And I'm just like, okay, sweet. In 2021, Starfield was supposed to come out. So this is the mark of the time frame of when the future's kind of supposed to happen. So obviously in 2020, this was a roadmap predicting the next couple years. COVID happened, got acquired by Microsoft. So this can all be kind of conjectured, like who knows what it is. So Starfield though was supposed to come out in 2021. Are you good?
Yes, babe.
And the beef extends.
Dude, are you going home after this?
Yeah.
I can't wait for Alex to catch all these hands in Discord.
Yeah. So clipping back in, you got a call.
Yep,
I'm just running it back.
Yep.
So you got a call. What time is it?
45.
45. Hopefully I remember.
Well, no.
You'll write it down.
Yep.
So I'm gonna keep talking. So Starfield was supposed to come out 2021. It came out in 2023. So chronologically, the next spoilers I'm going to talk about are to come after, and you would hope they're going to come out in the same time frame, right? So like if something's to say now something like on here there's 2023, there's going to be 2025.
Yeah.
So sucks. It is what it is. But in this 2021 release spoilers, we had Starfield, Elder Scrolls Online expansion, another one, fine. Redfall, which we don't even have to talk about that shit of a game. Doom Eternal DLC, Ghostwire Tokyo, Fallout World 76. This was like another expansion, and then so on and so forth. And then we start to get to kind of like we're throwing darts that maybe this is where we'll be at, because in this it says 3 planned titles. So don't know what those are. The Indiana Jones game. I don't know if you even knew that existed.
I didn't.
But Bethesda's making an Indiana Jones game. Or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Oblivion Remastered was supposed to be coming, which we're hoping it doesn't get canceled. Elder Scrolls Online expansion, and then the Starfield DLC is supposed to come out. So that's in 2022, so 2-year time lapse, which the DLC arguably could be closer. Mm-hmm. Because, again, they gave themselves so much extra time to work on Starfield. So, who's to know if it's going to be a 2-year time frame? And then after that, I'm going to start speedrunning because the rest of this is straight up, like, who fucking knows?
I can't wait to come back to Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so in 2023, it was Doom Year Zero Project, a script name, not an actual name of the game. Elder Scrolls Online expansion, Project Platinum. And then this was the spicy. This is the spicy one. So Starfield, and then 4 years later, which is how far they've had this projected. So this 2023, so 2027 to 2028 would be the ideal time that Elder Scrolls 6 That was on this list. Everybody saw that and literally like straight up shit their pants. They're like, "Does that mean?" And we're like, "No. When did Starfield come out?" And they're like, "This year." And it's like, okay, that's obviously the timeline's not on track. Things happen.
4 more years.
Yeah, so things happen. But that's supposed to come out. The game with fake title was going to have like a DLC. At least I think it is. I could be wrong. But Fallout 3 Remastered was going to happen. Doom Year Zero DLC. Dishonored 3 was going to happen. Like, and then there was another planned title, which is kind of whatever. So, that fucking sucks. Because we had a plan. And then, obviously, nobody wanted COVID to happen. But that happens. And then we're like, Microsoft's like, oh, well, we're going to buy you. So now, what was supposed to technically be next year, like at least close, we were going to start getting announcements. Like, even if they weren't making it, because what they did with Fallout or Starfield, they're like, there's a lot of bugs. We got to fix them. We're not releasing it like this. There's still some bugs. Random stuff happens. It's a massive game. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I get that. I cannot shake the idea of an open world Indiana Jones game.
yeah, we just talked about domains the last time. It's never going to air,
That would
of course.
be so sick. All I can think of is just an open world where you're playing indie or you're playing a protege of indie maybe or something. Because the protege would be like, oh, you get your own character design, but the Indiana Jones game would be you're now playing indie. But the idea of going to Nazi Germany, you know, all the sleuth and stealthy missions that you could do, the helping out local people, finding artifacts, the
Right.
combat systems. It feels like it would be an Assassin's Creed meets Fallout,
Right.
and I think that just sounds so much fun.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it other than it's got a game coming. It didn't get canceled or anything, so.
Well, and so something very similar. This is not pertaining to video games, but this is animation.
Yeah.
The show, the movie Minona.
Don't know.
It came out a few months ago. It is really well done in terms of animation. It was being done by a studio. Disney bought the studio. Disney dropped the project.
Right.
Project got scrapped, picked up by a different studio because the people who actually owned the story went to someone else.
Right.
So now someone that wasn't Disney made the movie, and now it's a hit.
Yeah,
But-
of course, because Disney's been missing on like all cylinders. So
Crazy.
of course they dropped a good story.
Yeah, but the issue.
Never mind, I love Disney. Sorry.
But the issue is, people get bought all the time. Things
Right.
fall by the wayside. This one just happened to be lucky enough that it got picked up again, and then still
Right.
came out really great. The issue is, do you think that's gonna happen?
Like, so it's very possible that the remasters get axed, at least for now.
Okay.
So, because again, now we have so many more things that are happening. Like, you now have to meld with the entire Microsoft team. You have to do all these other things. Like,
Yeah.
you're having legal issues because acquiring a company is not easy. That's why whenever you partner with other companies, you sign contracts, you do all this stuff. We sign partnerships. Just being bought out doesn't work that well. Like, for example, like there's a world where Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, Xbox exclusive. PlayStation players don't even get it.
Yeah.
Like that is a technical world that can happen. And for Microsoft, that's a win. That's what you want. Like, you
Yeah.
want one of the greatest games of all time. But not saying it is, but like it's unarguable that Skyrim's one of the greatest games of all time.
We can just say console. Modern era console games, easy.
I was just saying general. Like, I don't play The Witcher. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but I respect that it was one of the better games of all time.
In terms of like open
There's-
world or just
Yeah,
games
there-
period.
just period. There's a
Okay.
reason Skyrim got remade 18 million times.
That's true.
Like, they keep printing the same game, and everybody's like, sick.
It's like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they reskinned it. Madden. Oh my gosh, they reskinned it.
It's-
There's no way.
Yeah, and then like the mod scene, it's the highest modded game of all time, where like modders are getting hired by the studio because their content was so good. So like, just a W in general.
And then
Now, if
Microsoft
you were
can
like,
go, it's only us.
now if you're like, we're gonna announce a new console, which also got leaked. We're gonna announce a new console. Guess what? Guess what's gonna release with it? Probably the company you just acquired's greatest addition to their entire. Well, I think technically Fallout does better sales. For probably not for whatever reason. It's way more relatable.
Yeah.
Like when you play Fallout, you're like, this could realistically happen. The other games are like, I'm not fighting a dragon in the streets, shooting a fireball out of my hand, but we could.
I think people at my concert were thinking that they were doing that.
That's tough. But the worst part is, that's not even why I'm pissed. So you watched the other podcasts, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker. I'm so mad. First of all, do you enjoy spoilers? No. Okay. And I'm not going to spoil it to you. Is there a way? Okay. I might have a way to explain it without spoiling
It's about JJK, though.
Yeah, it is about Jujutsu Kaisen. First of all, just like NC Hammer, that's his that's YouTube. That's the easiest way you're ever gonna find it. But Nick Connor.
Yeah, Nick Connor.
Is it Nicholas or Nick?
It's
I think it's Nicholas. Whatever.
Yeah.
NC Hammer had the same exact thing happen to him that happened to me. I pull up little TikTok. I'm scouring. Somebody just showed me the panel. Like, it was literally one panel, second panel. And I was like, what? It wasn't even in English yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't even released to where we could read it, like, published in English. But okay. You already saw the whole podcast, so you know what I'm going to say. But seriously, could you imagine? You're watching Naruto, right?
Mm-hmm. No, you can't use an actual example because I might be able to put.
Like, could you imagine you're watching and they're just like, you've watched like 4 or 5 episodes. And you're like, where's Kakashi?
Oh. Just gone.
And in 10 seconds, they tell you why he's gone, and he's just gone.
Nice.
You don't get any story. You get
It
would be like
off screen.
Just off script, just off screen. You're just like, what? You mean this happened? I don't even want to talk about it.
No wonder the mangaka is getting death threats right
now. But it worked.
Yeah, everyone's talking about it.
It worked. It's just like, it's such a dumb thing. Like, it kind of fell to a good example I can give is like, I'm not saying any of this is what happens, but for example, why did they bullshit Madara? Couldn't right away that he lost.
Yeah.
So like, sure. So he made up some bullshit thing. It's kind of what like the off-screen thing felt like. Oh, he couldn't figure something out, so he just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Just sign the check, send it over.
My guy could have done the deed, but no, which he should have.
If you were gonna have what happened, make it after the Might Guy thing. Like, don't let him power up more and say, "All right, time to take you on seriously," and then get fucking pierced through the heart.
Also, let my guy die, but I digress.
Yeah. It's like, you let the other character live for like 30 seconds just to get whatever happened to him. I don't even know what you would call that. But, yeah, that's what I got. I'm so mad. It's been an average week.
Would you like to hear a different story?
Kind of, because my blood pressure's high now.
Oh, is it?
Okay. I'm about to start sweating.
So let's close our eyes. Let's think about our age. I'm 26.
Uh-huh.
You're 26.
Uh-huh.
Let's just imagine we were 2 years younger. What were you doing when you were 24? Oh yeah, COVID. So, but let's just imagine ourselves, right?
Dude, I want you to know that I got locked down back to back.
I know.
Yeah, people got phone calls because that's not how that was supposed to work. But keep going.
So you're 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine at the age of 24 being a ball boy for a professional football team?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just putting the absolute fucking spanking on them?
Can you imagine hanging 70?
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up. Can you imagine being a ball boy at age 24?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah,
No.
you're young enough to still like be doing whatever kind of thing.
Well, because like a ball boy for the NFL is not the same as like
no,
a
because
ball
you're still
boy.
making like 40 grand.
I don't know what. Still don't know what it is, but also like that is your internship
Yeah.
to like get into the business, pretty much.
For sure.
Like, go on.
So imagine being a ball boy, and then 12 years after that whole thing, you've worked in like circuits locally with that professional team, and you've been working your way up. And then, you're 38. You've been working in the organization for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
You've been with the same org.
Yeah.
The head coach position opens up. They don't even interview you.
Correct.
They just snub you. So
Yeah.
what do? You go to arguably one of the worst teams in the entire association.
Yeah.
And then you proceed to drop 3 points shy of the all-time scoring. No, I'm saying.
Well, yeah, to break it, 3.
Yeah, to break it would be 3 points.
2 to tie, 3 to break.
Yeah, 2 to tie, 3 to break. From the all-time scoring record, you hang 70.
Yeah.
My friend lost a bet that weekend. You want to know why? Because they didn't want to hit he needed Miami to hit a field goal. Just one. No, they dropped 10 tutties instead. And instead of kicking a field goal as time expired, because they were in the red zone.
Yeah.
You know what they said afterwards? We didn't want to humiliate them. You dropped 70, my guy.
Yeah. So Mike McDaniel's his name, right?
Yes.
He actually said something a little bit different. Like, and it maybe not at the time, but like another quote of his was, "It's not really the message I wanted to send." He's like, to my own team, I was like, "We've done enough to win, clearly." Because Mike McDaniel, he's just this awkward fella.
Yeah.
Like, I bet that guy's crazy in the locker room, dude.
I bet he's crazy all the time.
Yeah, just around like us, like public eye. He's like, yeah, I just told him to stop running. He wouldn't stop. But back to what I was saying. He basically said that he's like, I didn't want them to think that that game, us playing well, was to chase a record. It was to get a win and do things right. So, like, when we had the win, instead of going for a record, I was like, we need to still do things right like we would in a game, like that was close. We're kneeling. And I was like, that's cool. Like, that
makes sense.
Makes sense. But also,
records are sick.
Records are sick.
And to be Miami.
And dude, the worst part, the last time it happened, it was just like not even watchable NFL if you turned it on today.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit has been all over TikTok, all over Instagram. It is so fun. There's an American Dad meme on it where basically they put the Denver Broncos thing over top of Roger, which is the alien on American Dad. And he's talking to Steve, and Steve is New England Patriots. And he's like, don't worry, I'll get him. Stan walks in. Denver slaps him. It shows 14-7 or something. Like, just they're up.
Yeah.
And then he just grabs a chair, slams it over Roger. Roger hits the ground, and he starts crying. And he just shows the 70-20. And then Steve gets back up and goes, that was your plan? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, are you crying? He goes, yeah. Oh, dude, they're so good. All the jokes are so good.
The basketball memes that we like to watch, where the guy's like,
yeah, hoop.
Yeah,
I think hoops is the thing I watch.
Yeah, it's definitely that account. They took the voice and put it over top of. They made a lot of memes out of it. Like one of the passes, it goes to a receiver, and there is nobody near. Like there's nobody on screen near him, and it was like just like, I'm all alone.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of good memes out of it. I was like, wow, that is.
Because it was different getting embarrassed back in the day. people read it in the paper or whatever,
Yeah,
or like
whatever.
they didn't catch the game. It was fine.
The guy rolled
Bro,
up in,
ADs everywhere today. People were making funny. You know what story is up there with them getting absolutely smoked?
Donald Trump getting the judge trial by Donald Trump, where the judge deemed him guilty of whatever that was. It wasn't tax fraud, but it was like collusion of real estate or whatever. It was this morning. Not that one.
So,
Okay. What?
yeah. So Travis Kelce and
Oh,
Taylor
and
Swift
DMT
was
Swift,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was an interesting direction that this conversation went. Yeah, it's like you have this team getting regulated to college football, and then Travis Kelce bringing in all the Swifties, and they're rioting. Do you know how much his jersey sales went up?
400%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think last check was 450.
Did you see anything about the Cardinals quarterback?
No.
Oh, his jersey wasn't available. That's how unknown he is. He started Sunday. People tried buying his jersey because when you go to the Cardinals game, you can just go to the kiosk and be like, "Oh, I want to order a jersey."
Yeah.
And I want it to. Then you're like, "Oh, customize or like a player, and then it comes with all the numbers, and you go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Wait, where's 9? Wait, where's number 9? He wasn't there.
That's tough.
24 hours later, Cardinals have it up live. It is now the number 1 selling jersey for the Cardinals. So
Yeah.
fun.
Man, it's been a good watch so far. There's been holy shit. The Super Bowls this year have been remarkable. There are some bad games.
Do you know what Wednesday's game is?
There's a game Wednesday.
No,
That's today.
Thursday. People were joking about moving it to Wednesday
Because
because it's Bears versus Broncos.
Oh yeah, it is them. Because they were like, if we lose, whoever loses this week is actually going to go play college football.
Yes. Which, granted, even if that team went to play college football, it'd be the number 1 team in the country.
What?
That's beside the point.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah.
I
can't stand when people make that comment seriously. They're like, "Oh, UGA could beat this team." UGA is a bunch of boys compared to this team. These guys are men. I don't know if you've
Also, I think if any NFL team had to play a college team, they could be 0-100. They're stomping them. You know why? Because the amount of pride that would be on the line. Bro, you would probably have like 7 linemen thrown out just alone. Because they would be shit-talking so much and like just slamming them. You give one linebacker a free lick on the quarterback, that quarterback's not throwing the same.
No.
No shot, dude.
Like, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Are you really going to sit here and tell me that, and of course now the middle linebacker for the Broncos, because I can't even remember his name, he hits hard.
Yeah.
He's put 2 different. He got one guy ejected not ejected, but carried out of the game earlier. It's week 3.
Yeah. It's not the same.
He's
not the
crushing
same game.
people. Imagine him just coming through untouched up the middle, and your quarterback is just like, "I'm gonna throw the ball. Oh, why is there a helmet in my rib cage?"
Like that's the other thing is like there is like 4 DNs. Parsons, he kind of plays everywhere. Parsons, Nick Bosa, the dude from the Raiders. I can't remember his name. Him, and then Myles Garrett.
What about Connor from Steelers?
I'm just naming any of them.
No,
honestly. Let's imagine you put that person on a college front line, right? And 3 hot dogs on the other side. That's all you need. What 3 linemen do you have / 2 linemen plus running back that's blocking them?
Hear me out.
None. That's the answer.
Bosa was a problem in college.
Yeah. Guess what? He got fucking bigger, dude.
And guess what? He's gonna be a problem now. Oh man, I can't stand it when people say that. It reeks of I could do it better. Really? Where's your contract?
Yeah,
Shut up.
Whenever, like, did you see how Baltimore lost this week?
No, I didn't. I was a little tied up.
So, yeah. Well, I didn't know if you saw after. So, Baltimore is notorious for having, like, it's Justin Tucker, I think, like, best
the
field goal kicker of all time.
The best field goal kicker of all time, but has a 99 in his strength category and 99 accuracy on Madden.
Yeah.
But he has a 90 overall.
Okay.
Yeah, you figure that part out.
Okay, sure. Whatever. The part that matters,
he has the record for the longest field goal.
So he had to kick a 61-yarder.
So 2 yards shy of the longest.
Yeah, so 61-yarder.
Mm-hmm.
Could not put it more in the middle. It fell. To explain how short it landed, it hit the out-of-bounds white line underneath the field goal.
Oh, okay.
So it is literally like it missed the front bar by like 2 feet, a foot maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the middle.
Yeah.
Goes to overtime, they lose. That was to put them ahead by 3 with a second left in the game. Or something like that, or whatever. I don't remember.
Speaking of going ahead with a second left in the game, Ohio State.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I'm in the concert. I'm refreshing my phone in a sea of 160,000 people, trying to get cell service so I can get updates on my score.
That's tough. Dude.
We were walking back.
I was a little disappointed. Like that sucked. Like,
yeah.
Congratulations.
I know, right?
But fuck you. Now I'm gonna be greedy.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed. I was like, this is a game that we would have stayed here and actually watched.
For sure.
Like and I'm sitting here on the edge of one of the tables, got the TV up, and I'm just watching.
Lame, because we would have been anyway.
Yeah.
I'm walking back. I can't get cell service, and Rob goes, Connor, I think that's the game, and points at an RV who people had to be inside watching the game. Because last I knew, we were down.
Yeah.
And now I look up at the screen, and I see zeros on the clock with a ball flying through the air. And I'm like,
yeah, what happened? What happened?
Yeah, we scored a touchdoon.
Yeah.
And
like,
then,
I know what happened.
Like, whoa. So, mind you, my dad didn't go. My dad stayed back at the camp because we had a projector and we had, like, a hotspot and stuff. So, we watched football and watched movies and played on the Switch all weekend.
Right.
It was a good time.
Well, other than that, breaking news, Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee. 3-team trade. There's people fucking going everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even know all the details.
It doesn't matter.
He's going to Milwaukee.
He's going to
Well, I don't know if you saw Jimmy Butler apparently posted. He's like, NBA, you didn't hear this from me, but you might need to check Milwaukee out for tampering.
Oh.
So, also, the heartbreak of a century. Because obviously the deal doesn't happen in a day.
Yeah.
The deal's been going on. Dude, what Drew Holiday says, like the day yesterday, do you know what he said?
No.
I want to try to find the quote, which I could just probably pull up like Instagram and find it.
Yeah.
But he basically says, I love Milwaukee. I want to retire here. Like, this is where I want to play. I never want to play anywhere else.
Is he
fucking traded today? Literally, like, poured his soul out in an interview and just talked about how much he loved playing where he was at. Got fucking traded today. And of course, like, trades happen. They're like
it's a job thing.
It's a job thing. And like, Drew Holiday's not a bad player.
No.
Like, he's not bad at all.
But that's so tragic too, because he's gonna be sent somewhere else. Do we know where he's going?
It's said that he is actually going to be traded. So he went to Portland, I think. Like, he ended up in Portland. It was a 3-team trade, whatever. So he actually ended up in Portland, I think, and they tweeted out, or X, fucking whatever. They tweeted out that they plan on trading him. Dude just said the other day that he doesn't want to play anywhere else, so like, of course. And then that he might end up going to Miami.
I now want nothing more than whoever team he ends up on just crushing Milwaukee every time they see them.
Yeah, dude, it was the saddest. It was the saddest like tweet slash thing I've read in a while in sports because like everybody's like, it's a business, and it is.
I get that.
It's a business. People's wages and money's on the line. But man, when you see like a good player that definitely could keep playing at the like on your team, like he was going to start,
Yeah.
like by far one of the better defenders in the league, and
NBA
he's just
champion.
like, yeah, I would love to continue to play here. This is like basically my home.
And he's not a younger guy. He probably has like 3 or 4 seasons left. It's not like he's
Like a high
Yeah.
level, yeah, for sure.
And I don't see him sticking around much after if he's not starting anymore.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think
Yeah.
he would definitely be I'm gonna go do something else.
Such a shame.
But shit sucks. But that was the one. I can't find it now, of course, but it probably stopped recommending it because it was all I was seeing. Like it was like Damian trade, and then it was the holiday thing, and then everybody like afterward got the trade details, and they were like, oh, these people are moving everywhere. Like I'm pretty sure it's like a 9-person trade.
That's wild.
It's a lot of people.
I mean,
but,
it's damn time.
yeah.
I mean, Milwaukee's now not like they weren't a favorite before preseason, but
the only real thing that kind of got me was like he was like, I would never go to the Warriors because like I don't know his entire quote, but he was like, I'd never go there like Kevin did, and I'm like, you basically just did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like going to Milwaukee is
they're in the East. That's all it is.
Giannis is arguably the MVP every year.
Yeah.
You went and joined that.
It's like
with the time you were talking about not going and joining the Warriors was when Steph Curry was the MVP pretty much every year.
The last couple of years, it's literally just been like Embiid, Joker, Giannis.
Yeah.
In like the front runners.
They've basically been quarterbacks, but for the NBA.
Yeah.
That shit also pisses me off. I hate the MVP for NFL. It's a joke.
Oh, 100%.
Like, don't get me wrong. Are they the MVP, the quarterbacks? Yes, because they play the most important position in the game. But I don't like a most valuable player award, like MVP, just literally just being a quarterback award.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It is a quarterback. Because guess what? The better your wide receivers play, the better your running backs play, the better you get to play because you can sit back and autopilot. Like, if I hand the ball off and they score, like, of course, that wouldn't be as great. But, like, now they have to load the box and be ready, and I'm just dunking it over the top to the best receiver in the league.
Now, granted, it does take, like, skill, but it's definitely not – you're not Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Going to Miami.
Jimmy Butler is by far, like, a MVP candidate. He is by far the most valuable player to a team.
Yeah, I'm not saying Miami didn't have anything, but, like...
My God.
They definitely have less than others.
Not an MVP, like, of the league, because there's, like, it's
so
hard to argue against, like, how valuable... Like, if you lost Giannis, that team is winning, like, 10 games. Because, like, he's not real.
He's the Greek freak.
He is not real.
Yeah. I think I'm good to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I know a lot of sports talk today, a lot of me talk, not a whole lot of like anime and sports stuff, but it's mostly because I'd like to double down. This next episode, we got a lot of Magic stuff to talk about. It's spoiler season because perpetual hype.
Yeah.
But also, Wild's a Little Drain seems pretty sick.
It's cool. It's one of the cool. This is why I love Eldraine.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, every time so I say every time, but they've done 2.
I mean, hey,
they've banged
2 for 2 is a
2.
good record.
Yeah, they're just nice, solid. But outside of that, that's going to be it for us. I've been Brick Lori.
I mean, real quick though, if you do want to see good standard content, hit my boy up on YouTube.
Yeah, you can hit me up at. Oh God, I almost said the old one.
Shademore.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been going
We're
well.
almost to 200.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny when I look at my sub count and it's like, you're up 300%. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then I'm like, how many? And I'm like, they're like, you have 190. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But like, to be up 300%, you're like, you're at 190.
Yeah.
It's very misleading kind of numbers.
I mean,
Because
also your viewage.
do you want to know what my impressions are? Impressions count like being on the screen at any given point.
I'm gonna guess 5K.
Impressions on the screen is 324,000. Yeah. That is
And you have like maybe 5,000 views.
I mean, I can pull it up and go through
Oh.
it, but like it's like 10K.
Is it 10K? Okay.
Yeah, cuz like so I changed a couple things that I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically went from like maybe hit a 200 view video, then 50, then like
the last
30.
7 I've banged.
The last 2 weeks has been minimum 200.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, we figured out something.
Every day.
Yeah, sick. And doing it every day too has been a big help. But yeah, that's all we got. So
Yeah,
if you want to
hit
check me
him
out,
up.
if you're into Magic content, I've been playing Standard. I do play Explorer / Pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting closer. Cons will really make it feel about the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll get dig through time, treasure cruise, things like that. But
Yeah, you know,
Connor's engaged.
Yeah, I'm engaged.
I'm best man.
Best
that's-
boy.
That's not established. I
No.
just am.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I had to plan for it. If like, granted, you'll probably win. Maybe Hardesty.
Is it?
I'm putting a box in the middle of a ring. Y'all figure it out.
The problem is I'm not gonna win. Because I'm gonna see somebody go way too hard, and I'm just gonna be like, they want it way more.
Yeah,
than me.
their name is Hardesty.
Yeah. Hardesty just wants to. Hardesty, you think that, but Hardesty's going to come hit me. Like he's gonna forget about the box. Me and him both lose because he's just gonna come hit me. But that's it. That's the podcast.
That's the pod.
Just get the fuck out of here. See you. Goodbye.